can bust a flow, get that dough. Roxy the Duchess, they don't say no. Ooh, she run the show, stimulate and motivate and get up and go. Power to my people, strengthen the tide. Upward mobility, strategically we ride. Now give me 5 on the black side, you know how we ride. No discrimination, just education. Wrote it crystal clear, our contributions to this nation. Ease the frustration, love is always better than confrontation. Rocks gon' keep it light and keep it smooth. On my Tupac when they come and dropping you. Ooh, you know how I do, growing and evolving, but keep it true.
All right, here we are. This is, and we are, Under the Groove. We're touching bases with the people. It's good to be back, everybody. I'm hoping everybody come on in and let's do what we do, how we do it. Let's get down with this, get down and focus on the focus while we're doing it. Look, man, a lot has been going on again. You know, we discuss these things, these issues in our communities, man, every time we come on the situation. And in spite of that, we see these things continuing. If not, they're not receding. It's gradually getting worse. I'm of the mind of I'm trying to figure out what can be done. What can we do to help those in need? You know, our people, man, get to the point where we see the big picture. All right, that's just something I think about daily. You know, that's what I think about daily, man. I think about the brothers and sisters who sitting in these cells, man. They're sitting there idle, you know. They're not productive there. They can't provide, they cannot protect nor produce anything of substance in prison for themselves or their families out here, you know. They're just wasting away. This is something that I think about every day because I was in there. I was in those shoes, so I understand that. But you see, you know, what I also understand is for those brothers and sisters sitting up in these penitentiaries, man, the way they are, man, and in the streets, you know, doing what they do, man, it's all a part of this playbook that's been in effect, that's used against us. You know what I mean? That playbook has been used over and over again. They haven't changed it. They don't think they need to. I think our cause should be about not having them change the playbook, but dismantle it, man. You know, just like I said, man, switch the paradigm, you know, change it in such a way to where a playbook is something they know would not deter us. It won't affect us, you know. This is my thought, man. Those are my thoughts, you know. The playbook, like I say, man, it's always been there, man. It's been there and it's utilized really just to keep us divided, to keep us dependent, you know, weak and ineffectual. That's the reason for it, you know, because if we suffer from any of those things, all of which we do, they worry very little, you know. They don't have to really think about a revolution, so to speak, you know, a resurgence of Black identity, Black pride, dignity, you know, Black power. You know, that playbook, man, it's in full effect. It's in full effect, man. But so I thought about it. Like I said, you know, most brothers I ran into in prison, man, at some point they woke up, you know, they woke up. Now, a lot of them, man, got life in prison, life without, you know, just long stretches of time. But brothers, what I do know about brothers being in prison, they wake up eventually, you know. So brothers and sisters who are incarcerated, you know, what can they do? What can they do? How can they get to the point where they're woke now, you know, where they're waking up now like the rest of us? I think this is the opportunity for a lot of them, man, to re-educate themselves, you know. Just, you know, do the best you can to reevaluate who you are, to re-educate what you know, how you think and how you go about doing things while you're there. Clear your mind, clean it out. You know what I mean? Clear it and clean it out, you know, of all that debris, all that stuff that been gathered up in heaps, you know, that just clouds our judgment. You know, it wrecks how we want to act, how we should act spiritually, soulfully, you know, as a unit, as a people. it can be done, man. It can be done. In order to do that, though, like I said, man, brothers got to be willing. You know, it's sad that a lot of us have to go through what we go through to get to that point. That's a reality for a lot of us. We have to go through something to get to something before we figure some stuff out, man. You know, I'm suggesting that I don't have to always be that way. All right. Yeah. You know, I think about the brothers and sisters in prison, man. And I hope like hell, man, that they wake themselves up so that they can find themselves, you know, find their identity, like I said, and their purpose. You know, there's too many of our soldiers, man, in the streets, man, just reckless, man, and too many in prison. You know, it's sad just thinking about it, man. But again, they're there, man. They're there. It's a bigger picture, man. They're there to keep them in the state of mind that they're in, you know? They're there to keep them ignorant, you know? They're there to keep them from becoming and realizing that they are warriors, you know? And they should be warriors for the cause, for themselves and their people. They have a purpose they haven't realized yet. My hope is that these brothers and sisters, man, have or take the time, because they have opportunity, and I don't mean to be facetious, be funny. They got time. Take that time and utilize it wisely. You know, school yourselves, re-educate yourselves, you know, find out who you are and what you're about. Understand what your purpose is, what your identity is really all about. It can be done. It can be done. Brothers and sisters just got to be willing to do it. That said, again, this is Touching Bases with the People. Here, we see no evil, we hear no evil, and we speak no evil. However, we keep everything above board and solid, keep it respectful. We have those conversations that we think matter to us. And when I say that we think, I'm talking about that royal group congregation. Y'all know how we do. So let's do what we do every Tuesday and Thursdays, 6:15 to whenever I get that phone call or that nod, you know, it's time to shut it down. Our people are blessed. Sometimes we don't know it, or sometimes we take it for granted. We don't appreciate it. You know, there's a lot going on for us, man. We have to focus on what that is so we can get to it and let it work for us. You know, not only that, we got to work for it. It's going to work for us when you work for it. You know what I mean? So that being said, let's get into these comments, man. Let's see what the people got to say about whatever the people want to talk about, because this is Touching Bases with the People. Antonio Anthony, Y70, man. How you doing, man? Much love and respect. Glad to see you up in here, man. Bobby J4629. Back to you. Groove love, homie. Rakufu 2. Beautiful opening scene. Truly growing beyond the game, worlds chains, and excelling into the warmth of the sun. Hey, man, we are part of the God gene. No, we have the God gene. So we are part of all that you just mentioned. That sun, that's us. That's what sustains us. That's what puts us above board over others. And I don't mean it like that, but it is what it is. All right. It is what it is. You know, that source spark, you know, that source spark, that's that sun when it hits you. Boy, look, come on, man. You got to go out in that sun in the morning, the afternoon, whenever it's beaming. Just stand there, man. Stand there, close your eyes, man. See, you can do that for 2-3 minutes. You know, get a dose of that. It's powerful, man. It's powerful. All it's doing is trying to tell you something. It's trying to spread that love, man, that power, that energy. We got to be receptive, man. We got to accept it. We got to accept it. But I appreciate that comment, Rakufu. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for coming in like you did. Lisa Moore, how are you, sister? Sister Queen, how are you doing? How are you doing today? You saying blessings, big bro. Peace and love to the kings and queens in the chat. Hey, peace and love to you as well as respect, you know. Hope that everything is everything on your end. And here you are, all right? Again, these are blessings, y'all. These are blessings. Sometimes, you know, when we think about blessings, and I'm talking about black folk, we're looking for something specific. You know what I mean? We look for something very tangible, you know, money, New car, you know what I'm saying? Shit. But hey man, the blessings, man, they're small sometimes. And they're like that, man, I think, so that we can get to the point where we appreciate the small things in life. So that when we get something great, we get something big, something huge, man, just life changing or whatever, we'll appreciate it. We'll appreciate it. I think that's the reason why, the blessings come the way they do. But, everybody here is blessed, to say the least. To say the least. If you don't want to use that terminology, I say sometimes we are fortunate. All right. So I'm fortunate to be sitting here and about to have these conversations with you all, man. Appreciate you people. Jabarni, what it do, loved one? Top of the night to you as well. And hey, man, love to see you when you come up in this Royal Group congregation, man. Love it. Love it, man. It's real shit. Excuse my language, people, but it's real. It is real. All right. Mr. Faith Family Fortune, ID. Someone new, people. He said high H's, capital C's, and big B's to the whole UTG, from Blue York to the land. 43rd to the one way, from Fortray to the one way. Salute Bub and that good people from New York, and that good people from New York. Hey, man, peace and blessings to everybody out that way, brother. It's an honor. It's a pleasure. It's appreciated that you up in this get down with us, man. So I'm going to remember that name. I'm going to look forward to seeing you more often. This conversation, I'm sure you may know, but, I'll be remiss not to say it. This is touching bases with the people. We appreciate that you just came in and tapped in with us. So you touching bases with us, man. It's appreciated, brother. We send our love and respect to all y'all, all those in New York, man, who's pushing, man, for something different, something better, who want to excel. All right. Like, share, and subscribe, people, if you see fit on the subscription aspect of it. But comment, man, more than anything, because, I really enjoy the comments. Like I say, I go back and I read everything. Speaking of which, Raymond Skull, hey man, peace. Shouts out to the Rays. You left a comment Tuesday, and I was sitting just going over comments after I shut down everything. I saw it, and I appreciate it so much that I think it's something we can discuss if you guys are on board with that. All right, I'll bring that up shortly. Let me tap in, though, with some of these comments, because, this is the Royal Group congregation, and it's on and cracking. Queen Nzinga, 7-4, happy Friday Eve, my beautiful brothers and sisters in the Royal Group congregation. Yeah, she even know about it. I haven't seen her in the comments in a minute. All right. Oh, okay, got you. Rakufu, I see you, hear you loud and clear. There you go. Like that one too. I like that handle too, man. Shit. I love how people just mix some shit up, man, make it happen. Just creative, man. It's all get out. Yeah. He said that this is comedic aesthetics. All right. Rakufu goes on to say, we all we got. So stop, look, listen to your heart, hear what it's saying. Yeah, I know that one. That's stylistics. Stop, look, listen to your heart and what it's saying. Yeah, that ain't the moments. I think that's the stylistics for sure. Appreciate that, brother. But that's some real advice right there. And I'm hoping people grab, get a hold of that. Pay attention to it. Utilize that, man. Utilize that. Wake and Bake 2015. What's up, Big Bud? What's up with you, Wake and Bake? I've seen your name before. It's good to see you back in this get down, man. What's up with us? We want to touch bases, man. That's what we do. We touch bases with the people, man. You coming in. So I take it that you say, hey, man, you want to be a part of this get out. So you're more than welcome. Appreciate you in the comments, brother. Rakufu 2 says hieroglyphic or higher God flicks. You do the sun real groovy. I want to read that again. Hieroglyphic or higher God flicks. You do the sun real groovy. Sun do us groovy, though. That's some real spit. Hey, man, I was in the sun today at work. Shoot, I think I was outside all day. Might be a little dark. I feel good though. Energetic, energized. Okay, you at work, brother. All right. That's a good time to get it in if you can, man. You know, you driving in your car, man, at work, or just relaxing, man. You want to hear what's being said, you know, especially if it's some solid and above board conversation, man. Shit. Come on. Be all in with this. This is what we do. Mr. Faith Family and Fortune IDO. Again, he said, salute, and we send our love right back to those in the land. I'm always here, Groove. He said, I'm always here, Groove. It's Allah. Just changed my YouTube handle, but I'm always tapped in. Keep grooving, bub. Black love, black power. And let me add black first. All right, to that statement, if you don't mind, man. Black first, people. Black first. Now keep telling yourselves this if you need to. You know, speak it. You know, speak it. Put it in the atmosphere. Black first. You know, black first. That's going to entail all that black love, that black power. We're going to do the damn thing. All right, King Dub, 23. What's up with you? How's everything? Salute right back. Good to have you up in this Get Down. This is Under the Groove, and we are touching bases with the people. I love it when we get down like this, man. Appreciate you. King Dub going to say what you think about the situation in Fort Worth, Texas. I feel it would be cool if you brought the 5 Deuce OGs back on to speak on it. I said something about this Tuesday briefly, as well as last Thursday about it briefly. And my thing is this, you know, don't get me wrong, people. Like I say, you know, I love where I come from, my community. I just don't love what we see in the community now. You know what I mean? What's happening to the community? Well, not just ours, but everybody's, you know? Ours just seem to be front and center because we were the last bastion of so-called individuals in a certain community that would get on social media and act like fools. Now that issue, brothers, I'm pretty sure take that serious, you know? Like I say, I get it. I dig it. I've been there, done that. I know. But I'm saying also, man, in the same breath, we got more fish to fry, man. We got bigger fish to fry, bro. You know? And instead of brothers sitting up being, you know, going back and forth about how to say something properly or sticking to, you know, what the principle of it is or what the originality of it is, why they not discussing or why aren't we discussing how to own these communities, how to own these streets, you know, how to save brothers from not just, you know, confrontations like that, but, you know, being killed. How can we bring peace, man, to this Get Down? You know, how can this Get Down work for us in such a way to where this be the last thing we're talking about because we are owning things. We're being productive. We're being positive. We're trying to, you know, reach this state of excellence, man. We want those who watching us to understand that what we're talking about makes all the sense in the world, you know, as opposed to them watching us go back and forth over something as trivial as that, man. You know, and again, no disrespect and all due respect to those who, you know, carry that and wear that on their sleeve like they do. I don't mean no disrespect, but I'm saying, come on, y'all. It's way more going on. It's way more we could be doing that's way more constructive, you know, that can serve the people. How does that serve the people? That's my question. How does that serve the people? You know, like I said, I get it, but how does it help or serve the people who need to be served, who need to be supported, who need help? You know, if I see them brothers, I'd like to ask them, okay, man, what's the state of affairs on that street though you at? You know, is any of what you do productive? Who does it help? Who has it helped? You know, those are questions, man. These brothers, need to be approached with. Again, man, I want to stay out of that fray. I have an opinion, but I don't think my opinion don't mean nothing in that respect. I don't even want to throw my hat in that ring, man. But the brothers need to understand there's something greater going on, way greater going on than debating about what they're debating. All right. So, again, peace and love, man. And all due respect to Houston, to Fort Worth, as well as Houston. All right. Dallas as well, man. You brothers, man, need to rise up, wake up so that you can rise up and stand at your full potential, man. That does not exhibit potential for productivity, positivity, man, building, education, all the things that we're lacking. It don't line your pockets. It don't pay bills, So that's something to think about. I like to see them brothers come on and talk about something like that. That be the case, man. Invite me. I love to sit down with these brothers and have that conversation. Black first, man. Black first, man. Not these discrepancies and these issues, back and forth about gang shit. All right. That's that divide and conquer stuff, y'all. It's everywhere. You see it being exemplified, being put before us, exposed on Hoover. Divide and conquer. It makes no sense, man. That's what I think about that. That's right, sister. Lisa Moore says black first. Black first, man. Hey, King Dub, that's real spit, bro. I was saying last Tuesday, for those who know me, and I again, y'all, I don't try to glorify my past. My past was messed up. I'm fortunate to be here. All right. I don't glorify my past, man. But I know that in my past, I ran into a lot of brothers. A lot of brothers, and all those that ran into me, they'll tell you, I wouldn't tell them nothing or have them do something. I wouldn't tell them nothing that was wrong or have them go and do something I wouldn't do myself. You dig? I'm saying that to say, man, look, man, we got this situation where brothers got to keep it above board, man. We have to keep it above board. We got to start speaking truth to power. And not only that, but we have to start exemplifying what we're talking about. We have to act that out. You know what I mean? All that other stuff, like I say, y'all, it's not helping us to excel. It's bringing us further down. It's dividing us. It's dividing us. And we got to stop this stuff, man. We don't have the time to keep with this, y'all, entertaining people, man, with this bull crap, man. It's frivol, man. It's mindless frivol. All right, so I appreciate the comment, though, King Dub. Appreciate it. Mr. Faith, Family, and Fortune, IDO, I like that. Black first. Hondo and Jack in them. Let me see that. Hondo. That's Hondo. Hondo, I'm Jack and that bug. Yep, that's the direction. Oh, you Jack. Wait. What you jacking? And back on me? Oh, the black first. No, man, that's for everybody. But I did say last week, somebody sent me in a book, put that on t-shirts. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. But I say, man, you too. You too. Put that shit on them t-shirts, man. Start advertising. See, it's something different. We advertise our own slogans, our own stuff. We don't have to always advertise Nike, Puma, Louis. All this, man. Come on, man. We can advertise our own stuff. And when it's hitting, when it click with people who see you in it, especially us, be like, hey, man, where you get that from? When you do it right, you advertise it right, boom, got a little side hustle right there. Hey, man, turn nothing into something. Right now, it's just a phrase we use. A lot of people, not just on touching bases with the people, You know, I've heard it, black first. I support that. But yeah, you ain't got to jack me, man. I'm gonna let you. That's yours. That go for everybody. And, you know, not only is black first, man, we need to start focusing on the focus. All right, we need to get down with this. Get out. You know, we're gonna put people over paper. All that matters, man. All that matters. And like I said, man, I'm gonna speak truth to power, man. Gang banging need to die so brothers and sisters can live. That's another one. Y'all see me in that one too. You know, um, I don't. I fear us not succeeding, especially when there's momentum on our side. I hope y'all understand that. We have the momentum. We just gotta, hey man, we got to put more energy into this thing we call a revolution, or that we're calling an awakening. You know, we have to do that. We got to apply ourselves. You know, that's all I can say on that, man. But shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Do the damn thing, man. Do the damn thing. Valley Custom 3709. That part, 7 up. All right. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. That part, bro. King Dub said, thank you, OG. I'm from Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, but I stay on the West Coast, Seattle right now. All love, keep grooving strong, Mike. Likewise, bro. Likewise. And again, man, yeah, I say this, and I say it because I mean it. A lot of us come from communities that we love, you know. You could be in Dallas, Fort Worth. You could be in New York, wherever you can be, man. There's nothing wrong with loving your community. But it's something wrong when you profess to love your community, and yet you're destroying it. There's something wrong with that. You know? There's something wrong with that, y'all. And I know I'm not the only person who think like that. You can't say you love this. I cannot tell you I love Hoover, the community, and yet I'm man more than willing to see its demise or to tear it down. You know? History over there, man. You know? Brothers, man, I grew up with, man. Broke bread with, threw up with, no longer here. Good brothers. I was in the chat the other day, man. In the comments, one of my men, I grew up with this brother, man, his whole family, man. You know, rest in peace to Swollen, man, Zendrick Thompson. His brother, you know, out the blue tapped in, man. And this was my guy, man, you know, this was the older brother, but he let me hang around him. You feel me? You know, learn shit from him. You know, so I tapped in with the brother. Well, he tapped in, I tapped in back. But I'm saying all that to say, man, family, man, is everywhere, man. It's a small world, man, you know. But not only that, man, our community is our family. Now, if you say you love where the hell you from, then that means, man, you got to want to make sure that everybody is protected, that everybody is all right, that you're not bringing you're not destabilizing the community. You're not hurting the community. You're helping it. That's love for community, man. That's loving your set, your gang, your hood, whatever you want to label it. You love it like that, you're supposed to look out for it, man. You're supposed to want to see its growth. You know, you want to see it flourish, prosper. You want the people in your community to be, man, above board, man, to be all right. Not be worried about, you know, a stray bullet or somebody doing something because somebody did something, you know, and then innocence is lost. You know, not only that, but brothers lose their lives, not just in the physical sense, you know, becoming dead, but in the physical sense, being locked away. Future gone. Future's gone. And you love where you're from so badly or so much, why aren't you building it up instead of tearing it down? Bringing issues and shit to it. You know, that's a question I have. You know, I want to ask, you know, the Royal Group congregation that why do they do this then? You know, and again, I'm not, let's get this straight. I am not innocent. All right. Like I said, I deal with my redemption every day. And this is a part of it. This is part of my redemption, man. I feel you know, as a man, I'm trying to make good, you know, the bad, you know, I was a part of. I don't know if this get the job done, but I'm willing. You know, I want to see how far we can get this thing, man. Let's make something happen other than what's been happening. All right. So you love your set, you love your hood, you love your game, you love the community you come from, man. Treat it right. Treat it better. You know, treat it better. You know, have some dignity about not just yourself, but your community. Most of the stuff we do in these communities, man, we do it in places we don't even own. You know, we don't own it. All our money, it don't get recycled back into our community. It goes to someone else. They take it somewhere else. They don't get nothing back. You know, how much you love your community? How much do you love your community? How much do you miss those brothers who are fallen? Be them in the cemetery or in prison. You know, think about that, y'all. Think about that, man. Especially for the young ones and the old ones, man. We know, we all saying this about the youngs. They don't listen. They don't this. They don't that. They don't this. They don't that. I've said, you know, I've said this before. Well, maybe because y'all don't listen or we don't listen. You know, because everybody have something that's affecting them, and I trust that most of us we want to vent, a release, you know, have somebody to talk to, whether you understand or not. You know what I mean? It's not about that. It's about listening, man, to the individuals, be they young or old. All right. So the youngs, everybody's saying, oh man, they don't this, they don't that. Yeah, man. But look at what y'all doing. You know, some of the old heads, man, come on, man. It's not respectable, you know, behavior, man. A lot of you guys, you know, expose or, you know, present to the community, to the young homies. You know, y'all think that shit cool. Y'all, man, the young cats, man, you know, they ain't dumb. Like I say, might be ignorant. We all been ignorant, but they ain't dumb. They see BS when they, you know, when they know BS when they smell it. They know fake shit when they see it, you know. They know when cats don't give a damn about them, won't listen to them, you know. It's a side to every coin, man. But the thing is, the communication is non-existent. And I've said this about, you know, older heads. We have to learn to communicate better with them. You know, give them an ear, man. Listen. You know, don't just walk by them, nod them like, you know, yeah, come on, man. It's bigger than that. It's more than that. All right. So, you know, let's be a part for real of something we love to a point, or to the point where we protect it in such a way where we're not destroying it. We're not bringing death to it. We're not bringing, you know, brothers ended up being in prison because of it, or whatever the case may be. Let's build up our communities. Let's represent them for real. Let's represent them for real. All right. All right. Valley Custom, he said, man, Black First Movement, 7-Up. That's what's happening, y'all. Focus. I don't know if this is wordplay or what. UI4 or R4. Focus your 4. Focus I4. I'm having problems with that. Moderator, what that mean? Can you read that? UIFO? Anyway, but Focus is saying that 5 Dudes conversation is BS. We dealt with that decades ago. That back and forth on the internet is ignorant. It's embarrassing. It's shameful. It shouldn't be there. True words have never been spoken. I was at one of the meetings back in the day at Playa del Rey when we had that conversation. You know, it was settled then, and that was in the early about 84. I think I just got out of YA, man. You know, I just got out of YA. I remember that conversation. I remember how many heads was there, you know, and what the discussion was about, you know. So I think, yeah, like you, man, I think it's just ignorant, you know. I think it's just ignorant, man. The community, man, You know, it seems as though not just ours, but just look at all of them. They're all imploding. See, this is what this thing is a beast, man. It'll turn on you. It'll turn on you quick. It'll turn on you quick, man. Because there are no principles, man. There are no morals involved in this stuff, man. We just do shit, or our brothers just do shit now. You know, just do it just because they can do it. Because they think, okay, it's going to bring me some notoriety. You know, I'll be infamous. Yeah, you may be, but behind bars. I don't know how that's going to work out for you. You know, there's a whole lot of you up in there like that. So you're not going to be in no special place where you're the only one. You know what I mean? You know, so just think about that. Mr. Faye. Hey, Mr. Faye, family, before you say, yeah, man, I'm Jack and Black first, man. Real spit, though. Don't be surprised. I come in here with mine on, man. I'll be trying to come up with the right design, though. Because, you know, it's cool to have, you know, the teacher, but the design, I think, matters now. You know, block letters ain't always hitting no more. You know what I mean? You got to have that little squiggly, that cursive writing and all that other, you know, make it pop, man. I'm going to come up with something, man. I'm going to work, boy, look here. Don't play. That'll be a healthy competition right there. Because if I like yours better, I'm going to get me one or two of them made, man. Matter of fact, I'll have some up in here. So when guests come for interviews, hey, man, here's a t-shirt. This is from one of the brothers, man, in the Royal Group congregation. They'll appreciate it. Quinn Nzinga said, to manage potential food stamp cuts, we can pool resources. 4 families can buy wholesale in bulk and share meals. It's a major cost saver. Think about it, people. And, you know, for real, think about it, you know. Yeah. A lot of other ethnic groups do that. I'm telling y'all, this is what they do. They'll pool their money and they'll go buy it and hey, man, it's a saving. It's a savings, man. You see, again, we got to get past, we got to clear our minds, man, clean our minds up, man. Clean them and clear them. Got a lot of debris up in there, man. You know, that alters or blocks how we need to think, how we should be thinking. We can't see the forest for the trees because we got all this stuff up in there. But these suggestions, like that one right there, are suggestions, you know, the group give every time we up in here. I'm going to find Raymond Skoll's proposition because he mentioned something I thought was very insightful. And, you know, it's up to the group and whether or not we have this conversation. But this is what he said Tuesday. He said, one solution to our problem would be to institute entrepreneurial mindsets, become entrepreneurs and establish conglomerations together. We always had hustle. Truth to power right there. Truth to power. That ain't no lie, man. And it's Raymond, man, Raymond be putting it in. He coming with heat, you know. But this is what we do. This is touching bases with the people, and this is how we get on the focus. You know, we get the focus we need to have, man. We're locked into it, man. And before you know it, there's so much in the comments that, man, you probably can't, you know, deal with all of it, you know. So you're gonna have to pick one or two. Say, okay, let me see if I can initiate this or that. Make it work for you, though. You know, that's one of the things, man. For real, though, we have to have our minds right in order for us to be able to work together. You know, without, you know, our minds, you know, being on that right wavelength, man, that right plane, man, won't nothing come to pass, man. Just put it like that. You know, we'll be still going over the same stuff, man. You know, when these babies, you know, get older, it'll be the same stuff, man, if we don't get our mindset right. But appreciate that, Queen Nzinga. Good looking out. Wake and Bake, man. Fire Deuce HGC said, preach, man. I say that all the time. I would tell you no lie or do something I wouldn't do myself. I think that's just the way it should be. You know, I recall growing up, elders, man, and not just my family, but elders, and elders are, are known or should be known for their wisdom, their experience. You know what I mean? It's how they got to be elders. But they would always hit me with some stuff, man. I mean, and I, shoot, I walk away like, man, what the hell he said? What did he mean? And I would lock that in my brain and, just toss it around, flip it upside down, chop it up, man, mix it just till I can understand enough to where I can digest it, get the full meaning of it, man. But that's what, we're supposed to do for one another. Is, hey, man, don't lie. You ain't got to lie and you got to tell somebody some BS, man, just because you can. What they used to say, you lying to kick it. We ain't got to do none of that, Then don't have them go and do shit that you're not going to do. I think that's one of the coldest plays, man, ever. You have, man, dudes going doing stuff, man, you wouldn't go do. Got to get better than this, y'all. King Dub said, yes, sir. That's for real. Perspective 100. Okay, it actually means something coming from a true real OG. Oh, I was saying this, we get in the habit. Sometimes we attach stuff to our name. And right quick, I'm gonna say this. Somebody had mentioned, this OG terminology, and I said, man, I'm gonna tell the truth, man. I know OGs. I ain't no OG, man. I'm not an OG, man. Been around a long time, but I'm not OG, man. I want to be a brother that's, that's recognized and remembered for striving to do the right thing. Be recognized for being able to come up out of that muck and mire, man. For being able to clear the debris from my mind so I can think straight. Remember me for that. You know what I mean? I just want to be the type of brother, man, that I don't got to have a handle. You ain't got to call me Big Bub. I'm Bub, man. I'm the type of brother, man, I want to have a conversation with my brothers and my sisters. I want to be able to pass along something worthwhile, beneficial. Not only that, I would like to receive it as well. But a true real OG, nah. That and I say this, man, most of them brothers are dead and gone, man, or in prison. We have some, man, that survive, good dudes, I think. But I don't fit the bill. All right. No, that's what you gonna say. No. No. OG means an original gangster, and not, again, I don't want to be that, man. Yeah, I got a past history, man. Again, I'm just so y'all, I'm not proud of that stuff, man. I'm not. Al Thomas, how you doing, brother? Al says, good evening, bub, to you and your queen. Peace and good fortune to you too and the Royal Group congregation. B1 equals black first. There you go. Black power. Let's return to black excellence. Yeah. Black first, black power. Oh, I'm going to hook me a t-shirt up. Well, you just started some math. Oh, King Dub. Yeah, boy, look here. No, that was Mr. Faith Family and Fortune. Well, look here, I'm from Woo. Yeah, I like that. Hey, Al, man, hopefully everything is everything. You and the young king are well, And as always, man, you're focused on the focus, brothers. Good to see you in here with us, man. All love and respect for that, man. Raymond Skoll, what's happening, man? Man, what's happening? Yeah, we appreciate your get out or your participation in this, man. I must say, man, and you like most of the brothers in here, man. You done got in here, man, and you made a name for yourself, so to speak. You know what I mean? I want to send out my respect to you and the Rage, man. Hope everybody is safe, man. Taking care of one another, man. Focused on the focus, man. That's it. That's it, y'all. Let's get it back above board, man. We ain't got to keep it real, all that stuff, 100. No, let's get it above board. Let's lay it, man, horizontally, flat. It's straight, man. It's straight, So what, hey, Raymond, man, appreciate you back in this get down, brother. Shout out to you as well. Keith Cross, what it do? What it do, man? Peace to you as well, bro. All the way in there with that Puerto Rico. Costa Rica. This brother, man, living in life. I mean, shoot. Man, how's your program going on over there, Keith? How's the academy, man? Now, this brother's trying to do something, man, and this is another thing. See, for those of us who really put in the work to do for those brothers who really do the work, where are their accolades? Where are their accolades, man? Where's that? Hey, man, you're doing a great job, man. Where's that recognition, man, for excellence, man, of trying to push it, trying to get brothers to achieve something different, something better for themselves and their families? When do them brothers get their issue? That respect. We see brothers, man, get respect for the wrong shit. Let's keep it above board, man. Let's keep it straight, man. For the wrong shit. Some of these brothers are household names. For what? For what? For what, man? Good plan, man. Hey, Keith, man, like I say, man, love and respect, man. Love and respect. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. Keep doing what you're doing. Miss Faith Family Fortune says, man, bet, Bub, likewise, I do the same. Each one teach one. Each one teach one, if only reaching one. Real stuff, man. Love one. Let's collab. Ain't got no problem with that, y'all. And that could be a start. That could be something, I think, see, the Royal Group congregation got to mean more than just us coming in and touching bases with each other. We have to start putting some stuff in motion. Because we talk about it, I think, to each other more than we do anybody else. I think it would be only right if we can actually put something together, man, and make it work. Build it up. And it'll be the example that we're setting before, our young brothers and sisters, period. So it can be done. But do you want to do it? It takes work. It ain't just going to come to you. I'm with it. We're going to have to tap in, man. Jabarni, man, she said, start community garden, starting at our parks so the youth can be more a part. There's more to that. I got to find that. So the youth can be more a part. Okay, it's going to probably come in here. But that's a good suggestion as well. You know what? In the park, it's a public park, right? I wonder if that's something that would be feasible, allowed, or permitted. A community garden in the park. That's something I wonder about. That's something I wonder about. But that's a solid idea. That's a solid idea. Okay, King Doug said understood. And I know you're not an OG literally, as in the first gen. I just say that because this part or this point, as far as the current gen, like you say, the wisdom in comparison to the younger gen. I get it, bro. I get it. That's not a tangent I go on from time to time. I'm expressing just openly how I see a lot of stuff, and I don't take no, I don't see no ill will or nothing funny about what you said. I get it. What I mean? I just appreciate the fact that we actually, man, I'm able to even have a conversation with you brothers the way we do it. All right, it's all love, homie. All love. Trust that. Big Bub, Boss Claus, and everyone. JC Senior, Lazy Low. What's that in Lazy Low? Long time no here, man. I hope you're well. I hope you're well, brother. Good seeing this get down, man. All right. Every Tuesday and Thursday, 6:15, man. We coming in and we touching bases with the people. It'd be a beautiful thing to have you in this get down with us. All right. Like, share, comment, people. Subscribe if you see fit. But more than anything, like and share this thing, man. Come in here with these comments, you guys. Let's get this thing going to where, we're dispensing knowledge, education, love, the things that we're lacking in the communities. We're lacking those things in the communities. Knowledge, education, love, and even respect to a large degree. All right. We're lacking vision. We have no vision in the communities, man. If we have it, if it's there, it's just, it's locked away somewhere, it's it's out of sight. It's just out of sight. I gather that it's actually there. It exists. We have to inspire and motivate our people, man. Real spit. Al Thomas, man. Like I say, man, it's always a pleasure though, bro. Al says each individual has to mature to the point where they can put beliefs aside to accomplish unity amongst family, friends, and the tribe as a whole. This is what we got to push, man. We got to let them know it can be done, though. We got to let them know it's okay, man. It's okay to mature. It's okay to grow, evolve, elevate. In fact, in in a lot of ways, it's okay to forgive, a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, anguish, we've suffered, In order for us to get to where we need to be, it will be okay to do all those things, man. So we can get to where we need to be. You got to mature, man, so we can reach that point. Do away with these false beliefs. That's another thing. So good point. Appreciate you, Al. Raymond Skull said, Raymond Skull 102 says, thank you, bro. I appreciate the acknowledgement, man. Shit. Hey, man, you came in this thing like gangbusters, man. You got to chop it up. I'm like, who was that? All right. No, man. I think that with a lot of us, we tend to listen. You know what I mean? We tend to, pay attention. We focus on the focus. When you jumped in here, man, it was like, all right, solid, above board, you were laying before us, knowledge, picking facts. Man, those who know. You knew what I'm coming to say. Hey, man, I got something for y'all. You dropped it on us. We picked it up. No, we acknowledge you. We acknowledge you, bro. Appreciate you in the get down, though, Raymond. Real spit. Real spit, man. Real talk. King Dub, you say, man, you're a black elder amongst the village first. This is some, I know 100, this point in history, especially down SOUF, down south. I love it. Okay, but especially down south, we be calling anyone who are thorough individual with at least 20 years in this, a OG. All right. Appreciate you. I appreciate the breakdown and how you express that. Thank you, bro. Hear you loud and clear. He said, I know as far as rank in order in history, you're from a different gen than the OGs. Yeah, that's true. All right. JC Senior Lazy Low says, stand peaceful and count blessings over stresses. All right. See, we got all kind of phrases for t-shirts, man, and shit. I'm telling you, that's nice. I like that. Counting blessings over stressings. or overstressed scenes. Hey, man, I like that one. I'm gonna write that one down, lazy. All right, counting blessing. Oh, that look good too. Trust me. Over stressing. Stressing. I like that. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. Yeah. All right. Hey, Pope, what it do? Right quick though, King Dub said, yes, indeed, all love for sure, sir. I steady soak up all type of game and knowledge and history from your channel. Real talk. Appreciate that. Appreciate hearing that from you and knowing that that's what you do. You've been a part of this Get Down. Thanks a lot, bro. All right. Pope Mitchell podcast, man. He said, I'm driving, bub, but all ears. Get it in on UTG. How was your day, bro? How was your day, man? I know you put it in, man. Long hours too, bro. Long hours. Man. Well, safe travels, bro. Tap in when you make it home, man. One love, bro. Yep. John Wayne D4K, he said that show Thinking Outside the Cage, 89.1 Pacifica. What's his dude? We got a podcast. I can't remember his name. 89.1. That show Thinking Outside the Cage. Oh, you're talking about Miz. I think that's Miz, but I think it's 90. It's Thinking Outside the Cage though. Is that Miz? No. Well, hold on, y'all. Hold on with that one, John Wayne. Let me find out right quick. For sure. Thinking Outside the Cage. I remember that. About what? Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I remember the conversation. I'm trying to remember who that was. Who? C-Rap? No. Thinking Outside the Cage. Thinking Outside the Cage. Thinking Outside the Cage. It's gonna come to me. I'm gonna text Miz right quick though. See if he know. Who? One second, people. Damn, that's bothering me. Who? Jerry Silver? Silva. Jerry Silva. Thinking outside. Hopefully, Miz know that could be it. I'm not sure, baby. But hey, John Wayne, for D4K, we gonna find out. That show, Thinking Outside the Cage, 89.1 Pacifica, was his due. What's his due? We got a podcast. I can't remember his name. Okay, we gonna get to that though. Trust that. Wake and Bake Fire Do says GC said, man, bub, this is one thing that ate me up inside. I remember it was like 14 or 15 and got in trouble for smoking weed. So my uncle came over and chastised me or whatnot. And one thing that he said stuck with me for over 10 years. But he told me that I was 7 years behind in life. And like I said, I was only 14 or 15. So 7 years from that age would be 7 or 8 years old. I was confused after he said that. Yeah. In other words, my boy Prince, he got a line. He said, at your age, not your shoe size, and maybe we can do the time. But that, I think that carries a lot of weight. At 14 and 15, man, young brothers and sisters, man, really supposed to be preparing for the world. You understand? They're educated, or they have, enough education to assist them when they step out into the world. Their development, it should not be arrested at that age. At that age, we see a lot of young brothers and sisters at that age whose mental development is arrested, acting like kids. You see a lot of grown folks do the same thing, but your uncle, I think he made a valid point, and this is something we need to be saying to the youth and the others. Hey, man, hey, you 7 years behind. You can be every bit of 21, but you acting like you're 14. But at that, do the math like you said, 13, 14, yeah, that puts you back as a kid. You acting like a kid. Get it in, man. I appreciate that, Wake and Bake. I rock low, 354. All right, bro. All right. We already know what that do. See ya. Matter of fact, hold on. No. Oh, shit. John Wayne, that was the wrong one. Damn it. Come on back, John Wayne. Come on back in, all right? No, here we go. Can I get him back in? Yep. Boom. Let me see. Yeah, that ain't cool. No, yeah, that's the wrong one. I got rid of that other cat. They just try to come in with that little sideways stuff. Yeah, that's just, come on, man. Again, that's part of what we're dealing with. There's a 14, 15-year-old, might be 18, acting like he's, 11. John Wayne, if you can hear me, man, D4K, come on back in, man. Let me get you back up in here, man, because I just did some, got rid of the wrong person, bro. Okay, so, yeah. I like how you put that, though, Wake and Bake. That was tight, man. And Uncle was right. And, most of the time, Uncles are right. Uncles are right. Shit, I had an uncle, man. And get a couple of beers in him. I had to sit there for like an hour or two until he got through with that beer. And he telling me all kind of shit, man. I'm like, man, I'm itching to get in the street. You got me a hostage up in there. But it was all solid stuff. So, yeah, uncles, man, are good for, dispensing knowledge, man. Advice, something to help, keep you alive, man, keep you well, keep you growing, Kimberly Mitchell, how's the sister? How's the queen doing this evening? She says, Hoover, hey, my people, this government shutdown is real and boo-boo. I just got cut from my job, man. But the Lord got me another one. And there we go. Stay diligent, keep unity, keep pushing. Prayers for the chat. One love. Well, we're pleased to hear that you're all right. Hey, we always land on our feet. I think Raymond Scott said that the other day. Say, hey, man, no matter what, we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right regardless. But what you're talking about in terms of what the government is doing, is some real stuff, man. And we've said this is just the first of a lot of things that are coming down the pipes at us. No doubt about that. There's going to be more. It's going to be way more. I need to see how to get this back in here. I'm a novice. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get the brother back in here because I accidentally, man, asked out one of our brothers, man. I don't like I did that. Accidentally. All right, there you go. No. Yeah, I know. I know. I just don't like that I did that. I don't like that I did that. Anyway, no, I don't want to hide that. In particular, Random City. Okay, but anyway, John Wayne goes on to say, yeah, Pacifica Radio, it comes on Sundays at 9. That I'm gonna tell you, that's Miz. That's Miz from 9-0. Yeah, that's Miz. But I think the radio station is I got that information as well. Man, Miz stay sending me stuff, man. We okay, hold tight, people. I think it's 90.1. I don't know, but all right, that's the address. Where to go? Where to go? I got to tap in with Miz too, man. That brother Brand, we were trying to collaborate and do things, you know. Okay, yeah. So it's Sundays at 9, 90.7 KPFK FM. Then hopefully that's what you're talking about, John Wayne. 713. Hopefully that's what you're talking about. Can you see John Wayne's comment in there? See what you have, John Wayne on the screen. Huh? Yeah, okay, good, good. All right, that's cool. All right, hey, who Snipe, what it do? Wow. How's a brother? How is a brother? Good to see you in this get down, man. Good to see you in this get down. I wanted to talk about something. And again, there were two things. Raymond Skull said we were talking about the family being involved, parents being involved, getting involved in the lives of these youngsters, y'all. That was one thing. You know, well, what starts at home first? Discipline, you know, education, love, discipline, you know, the rearing of the child, you know. I give example, I think is a good example. Brother Al, this brother's a stumped down parent. He does what he's supposed to do. I know all kind of people who are actually like that. So, you know, you always want to give them their props, man, you know, especially when you see a black man doing what he's supposed to do, as well as a black woman. You know, black women do their thing too. You know, most of them do it by themselves. Some black men do it by themselves. You know, all right, let me get this off right here. I don't know why that's on there. Okay, there you go. All right. Yeah, we good. All right. But yeah, hey man, Raymond Skull said something about that, man. It resonated with my wife and I in terms of parenting, you know, the parents' role, or in some cases the lack thereof. You know what I mean? But it starts at home first. A lot of what we seeing, or a lot of what we see, I think is a result of parents not being involved in the lives, you know, of the offspring of the children they birth, you know, and that's part of the problem for sure. Need more involvement from the parents, man. King Dub say, laughing my ass off. He on the wrong chat, ain't it? Yeah. He must be one of them out of town dudes banging Hoover Kings or something. Yeah. That's exactly what he thought. He thought he was on another get out. But again, see, that's the sad part, man. But they so used to doing it because, you know, all these, you have all these podcasts, these platforms and social media where they do this sort of thing. And it spills over. It spills over. And instead of that brother just listening to the conversation, he preferred to come on in and say, hey, man, you know, it makes no sense, man. It makes no sense. Makes none. All right. Valley Custom 7309 3709, excuse me, said the best advice is for us to learn how to control our own resources. Working a 9 to 5, hustling or owning the business, every position is important. 7 up. There you go. We had that conversation again. So we, you know, when we look at, see, I don't think we really look at, our people really look at the role we play in this economy. Man, don't no one spend more dollars than we do. Our dollars at this stage, well, I think one of our resources, our main resources is us, you know, is our youth. All right. Now, that said, our other resource is our dollars. But I was just saying a minute ago, Valley Custom, that our dollars, we go and spend them. And we all know what happened when we go spend with other people. Them dollars leave the community. They don't come back, you know? So there's, you know, there's our resource. There's one issue or instance of our resource not working for us because we don't know how to make it work for us, or we haven't put it to work for us, you know? So imagine that same store has some competition right next door. Excuse me, you know, that same business, you know, the same business, the same the creativity initiating the same type of product or something similar right next door. You know, that's a resource that we're squandering. We're squandering our resources you know, in any respect, be it our people, us, or our dollars. You know, we have to learn how to control our resources. That's true. You know, we have to, but there's something else that hasn't been taught, or that, you know, we weren't educated in that respect, you know, how to manage and utilize our resources to work for us. You know, that was something that was left out of the education, you know. But intentional. Say again. Intentionally. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No doubt, it's intentional. Yeah, no doubt, it's intentional. But yeah, but again, yeah, that's part of the problem. We haven't learned. We did not learn how to control our own resources, you know, or to make them work for us. Everybody else has. Everybody else does. That's not to say, let's get something straight, that we don't have Black people that know how to do this and aren't doing this. That's far from the truth. There are Blacks who know how to do this and who are doing this, you know, but on what scale? You know, we were talking last week also about Black supermarkets. Now, in my ignorance, I didn't know there was a Black supermarket on, what's that, Rosecrans? Well, not only that one, but a couple, from what I understand, you know, in the comments from the group. I didn't know that, you know. And I say to my wife, we say all the time to each other, hey, man, we're going to spend our money. We want to spend it with our people, you know. Not only that, but okay, then we need to, create, you know, more revenue, you know, create, you know, more revenue streams, or whatever the case may be. You know, something that offers a product to a consumer like us. You know what I mean? We can get there, man. It's going to take work, though. I appreciate that, Valley Custom. And then that be the 9 to 5 we work at. We put in the work, you know, for our own shit. I was telling my wife shit last week. I've been saying it all last week. Next year, I'm retiring. You know, I'm going to retire, but I'm going to retire from helping them, you know, build their shit instead of me helping me and mine build ours. So I'm going to do that. You know, I'm going to do that. You know, retire so that I can start living and making a living for me and my family on a whole nother level. You know, any work that I put forth, you know, for whatever reason, is that money, that return is going to come home. It's going to go to the home. And, you know, a lot of other ideas we have. So that makes all the sense in the world, Valley Custom. We have to get to the point where we learn how to control our stuff. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Okay. Raymond Skull said, yeah, bro, I hate to see the level of disrespect. It's all good, though, homie. Here's the thing. I was saying though, Raymond, you weren't in when I was saying this. See, I think a lot of us, man, a lot of us, we don't really get the lesson until sometimes it's too late. You know what I mean? For a lot of brothers, they sitting up in there, man. They sitting up in there and they hit them like a ton of bricks. You know, oh damn, that was some stupid shit I did, or damn, why I didn't listen, da da da. But also, you're gonna have to go through something to get to something, you know? And for a lot of these brothers, man, they're gonna have to go through some shit, man, to get to the point where a lot of us are, you know what I mean? We too went through a lot. We can hold individuals responsible all we want. But until that individual or those individuals hold themselves accountable, hold themselves responsible, man, we just, we're in a position, the only position we can be in that we should want to be in is to, okay, man, I'm going to push past that. Ain't going to pay no mind, because it's there, it ain't going to help nothing, We're going to keep doing what we're doing. And hopefully he come back next time, but he come back better, So, man, what y'all talking about? Yeah, man, my bad. I wasn't listening. I'm listening now, so gotta let them, man. Sometimes we have to let them make their mistakes, man, so they can learn something from it. Valley Custom said, man, it start with small things, electrician, plumber, construction, just with those small things right there. If you got 3 homes that did that, you got 3 homies that can help you build a house. Yeah. There it is. Man, and just hearing it is so simple because, yeah, okay, I know 3 individuals, you got a house. All right? No electricians, plumbers, you know what I'm saying? Black. That's the way to go. So when I need something done, okay, man, come on, but start a business from it, of course. I think that's also what you're suggesting. Start a business. Did anybody check out what was that? The Black Business what was that? Black Business Committee chamber?
Yeah, chamber.
Did anybody look into that? I went online. I saw there's a lot of advertising in there. Hey, Poke, man, what's happening? All right, Poke, thanks, man, for responding to that. He says, hard to be a parent when the streets don't let you. Too many Black fathers are dying and never leave anything behind to assure a bright future. How do we connect the two to work for a lasting future? He says, hard to be a parent when the streets don't let you. Yeah, I think that's what we're competing with. A lot of us be mother, father, aunt, uncle, brother, sister, cousin, just blood relative, whatever. It's always that competition, or that's what, that's what the competition is. You telling somebody, what's right, what I'm saying, what's helpful, what's healthy, whatever, and the streets is telling them, damn that. All right. That is, that's part of this struggle, man, and getting hold of our youth. The streets, man. Too many Black fathers are dying, yeah, or in prison, in some way, some form of fashion, they're absent, and it's not always what we hear in the news in terms of just being a deadbeat or whatever the case may be. I think you have a lot of brothers that's in their life and they might be good dads, you know what I mean? But the streets take them. Streets take them, man. Now, how do we connect the two to work for a lasting future? I don't know. I'm going to have somebody here Saturday, man, and we're going to talk. And it's my hope that our guests will be able to answer a question like yours, Poke. you know. And in fact, I like that question. I'm going to include it with my list of questions, you know. So how do we connect the two to work for a lasting future? Okay, Black founders die and never leave anything behind to assure a bright future. How do we connect? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I'm going to show get a dim. Did you see that? Can you screenshot that? Okay. Yeah, man. Chris 223, how's the brother? Labor force, not enough black willing to do hard labor. That might also be the truth. But I think also what happened with that was what nepotism, cronyism, you know, a lot of, you know, let's, you know, to an extent, a lot of brothers were played out of their jobs, you know, were set up, you know, to lose a job or whatever the case may be, man. But then too, yeah, a lot of brothers probably say, man, you know, the hell with that. I ain't doing all that. I know a few say they ain't doing no hard labor. They don't do labor. I know a few actually. Like, hey, shit, if it pay well, what? You turn your nose up at that if it pays well. You know, learn how to do the job smart. You know, hey, but you got a point. A lot of brothers don't want to do hard labor, man. Yeah, that's the truth. So ain't no sense in pointing the fingers at nobody else, man. Really, a job, especially if it pays the bill, put food on the table, you know, provides or help provide a roof being over your head, man. It's a job that's helping you get something done. Get that job, man. Al Thomas, man. Al Thomas said, at the very least, every black man and woman should have a life insurance policy. This is something we discussed also last Tuesday. You know, Ed Polk Mitchell, he's talking to you, Polk, I'm sure. All of these others stand by that. Leave your kids with more than we started out with. So there's the answer to your question. Insurance policy. Well, we just had this conversation the other day. Something happened to somebody and they have no life insurance. You know, and that's hard to understand. No life insurance. You know, and it's crazy because you got a lot of us, man, who, like I said, I was saying the other day about this marijuana. They're going to spend that money quick on that marijuana. A good life insurance policy might cost you what, 100, 200? Well, it depends. They're different. They're different ones. But a month. What are they spending on weed a month? Shit. What? They're not hard to get. They're not hard to get. Not all of them. Well, you know, way things are going, man, the way, you know, people look, society looks at our community now, I wouldn't be surprised they start setting conditions on life insurance policies for blacks. Think about that. Think about that. I wouldn't be surprised, you know. So Chris 223 goes on to say, it's hard to mobile young black youth to do hard labor in the burning sun, carrying steel and bricks and wood. That's true. That's true. There's something I think also about the generation that's different. What they call this generation, Gen Z or something like that. It comes anyway. A lot of them didn't grow up doing the things a lot of us grew up doing. You know what I mean? You know, for instance, we didn't have PlayStations and cell phones and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, shit, I knew how to garden. You know, we would build shacks. You can live in them. Pigeon cages, man, most secure pigeon cage you ever think about, you know. We knew how to do plumbing. You know what I mean? Labor was something we we did, we did. Growing up, I had a job, had a couple of jobs. I had one job, I swear that was the hardest job I had in Gardena at this place. I don't know if the place still exists. Oh, it does. I think we passed by it. Pacifica Electric Cord. Hey, man, this was one of the hardest jobs I ever had, man. And it tested me. It tested me, man. It tested my resolve, man, my mettle. Because I was like, hey, I already get about that job. You leave that job, I was looking filthy, dirty. I had to ride the bus. This was when I was doing RTDs back then. And I stuck with it, though. I stuck with it, man. Learn a lot from it, man. All work ain't going to kill you. It might make you look dirty and shit, but it ain't going to kill you. But that's something they lack, man. That's a certain discipline about work, a certain discipline about work, man. I see it all the time. Trust me. I see it all the time. But yeah, Chris, you got a point there, man. You go on to say a lot of times you leave the kids with life insurance, and there's another factor. You don't just leave them with life insurance. You leave them with a house and they ain't got it in 6 months. Yeah, so that's another thing, man. They waste it off, man. Don't mention weed. They're spending $1,000 a month easily. And I was being nice. I said $100. I was like, what world I'm living in? And, and I got family and I watch them smoke. So, if I really, and I don't be counting people's pockets, but that's a lot of weed I've seen consumed. So, yeah, man, it got to be more than $100 a month. That's that's 2 or 3 policies right there a month. Shoot. Get one on you, on him, his homie. Look out. Al Thomas said, I think if more of us had huge life insurance policies, some laws would change. The insurance companies alone would be in Congress lobbying to change things. That's true. That's true. But we don't, yeah. Raymond Skull 102 said, sad that brothers won't do hard labor in society while they're free. Yet, when these same brothers are locked up, they're willing to work for pennies. Literally. Tell the truth, man. I was telling my wife about that. 11 cents an hour, 18 cents an hour, 26 cents an hour, and shit. That don't mean nothing if you're on lockdown. It just, you have to get a bag of chips at canteen. That's what they'll do too. Go buy a bag of chips or some soups. But yeah, they work for pennies in the joint. That's the truth. Literally work for pennies in the joint. But he come out here and be like, man, no, I ain't working. Now they what is $18 to $20 an hour minimum wage. You won't do that here, but you go to the joint, yeah, shit is backwards, man. That's the truth, though. Thanks for that comment right there, Raymond. Wake and Bake said, sometimes it don't even be hard labor jobs. It be the 10 or 12-hour shifts that make some people think they can't work. I work 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. The only thing hard about my job is when I have to change out the milling heads for the machines I run. Besides that, my job is easy cakewalk. Hey, man, tell me about it. Tell me about it. And then once you get the job, once you really understand the job and get it down pat, you realize, or you come to learn how to make it simpler. You know what I mean? It doesn't become this thing that's just stressing you out because it's so difficult. My job different in that respect. The hours are good, but it's a dangerous ass job. It's a dangerous job. If shit go wrong in there, and bad news will beat you home. Bad news will beat you home. I work with materials like marble, porcelain, granite, and stuff like that, man. So If that shit fall on you, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, man. But you know, initially when I got there, I'm like, damn, man, this so heavy ass shit. In the month, I was like, oh man, this ain't shit I got. You got to be safe. That's it. So you got a good point there, man. Appreciate that comment, Wake and Bake. Yep. Man. Raymond Skull said, man, the reconditioning of our mindset is needed. And this is what we were talking about initially when we started. We have to change the mindset. You know, we have to clear it and clean it out. Reset it, man. Like I said, there's a lot of debris in there, y'all. There's a lot of debris stuck in our heads, man. They ain't doing us no good. It's just taking up space. Got us acting, like I said, sometimes foolish and ignorant, but it ain't really good for nothing, man. It ain't good for nothing. All that shit up in our head. Reset the mindset. We be all right. Man, tell the truth, Al. Them is facts, right? A work ethic, that's also something, yeah, got to have that work ethic, man. I'm telling you, I don't want that. I'm not no lazy cat, but I hate for a cat to think I'm lazy. Man, you can't be mad at him. You mean said you slipping, you slacking or something. Work ethic gotta be down pat. Chris 223 say they're blowing down the big blunts, $20 sacks. Long gone are the days of smoking a joint. I swear, you never lie. I remember it was some years ago. I just came home. Well, shit, I got off parole on it. And I called myself twisting a joint with some zigzag papers. Man, do you know? I had family over there looking at me like I was a fool. Like, what that's going to do? What that little joint going to do? Like, hey, man. I'll never forget it. Yeah, man. James Cass, how's the brother, man? James Cass, 1972, man. He said, best wishes and blessings, OG Bub. Nothing but love and respect. Happy Thursday. CPT1. Likewise, bro. How are you today? Good to see you in the Get Down as always. Good to see you in this Get Down. Yeah, man. You know how we do, man. Like, share, and comment, people. Subscribe if you see fit. If not, man, just enjoy, this conversation that we're having, man. Jump in if you feel like it. Keep respect from above board, though. Raymond Skull said, Poke Mitchell podcast in order to, okay. But I like to read it because it's a good comment. Poke Mitchell podcast in order to connect generational wealth to our families. First, we as fathers have to protect our lives in order to be present for our kids. I'm gonna read that again. He said, at Poke Mitchell podcast, in order to connect generational wealth to our families, first, we as fathers have to protect our lives in order to be present for our kids. There it is. There it is. There it is. All right, James Katz, I see you said, man, hey, I'm under the groove, big homie. Tapped in with you, loved one. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that, bro. The Royal Group congregation is up and running, y'all. This is Under the Groove, touching bases with the people. This is what we do. I love doing this. I love seeing brothers like Raymond Skull coming there, James Cash, Al Thomas, man. We go on and on to the break of dawn, man. Chris 223, man. Wake and Bake. Our sisters, Lisa Moore, Kimberly, Queen Nzinga. I'm pretty sure C1 Dan is gonna show up in a minute. It just ain't right that it's for her not to be in this Get Out with us, y'all. Gotta love that sister, man. You gotta love that sister. With the business. All right, James Cass, I just got home, man. I'm in relax mode. How you feel about the state of the world, OG Bub? All right, great. I'm not worried, man, but some pernicious, something, I'm about to use a word. I was about to say something pernicious, but something wrong is going on, man. It's going to be harmful, man. Um, I saw something on a site today, a link where uh, what is it called? Homeland, not ICE per se, but ICE is connected to the Department of the Homeland Department or whatever. Yeah, Homeland Security. They took this young brother's video, right? And this ain't nothing. They actually did this. The government, the young brother and a few of his friends made a video around the time where the United States had bombed Iran's nuclear facilities, right? So these young brothers made a thing, a video saying something like, "We the U.S. Here we are. We come to get you, whatever." ICE / Homeland Security or Ministry of whatever took the video and turned it on the brother. Had the brother saying, F ICE, fuck ICE, fuck Homeland Security, bring it, let's get it on, some in the video would, had the brother pulling up his mask, which he actually did in his video. Young dude, man, about 14, 15, intelligent brother though. Took his video and recreated his video to make it seem like he's calling for war against the government, right? And they left ICE, Homeland Security left a comment. So yeah, man, we gonna come get you. It don't matter. We're gonna get all y'all. Y'all ain't nothing but cowards. This is what they left. Government officials, or the government. So it came out. It was discovered that they did this because the young brother has a page. People started hitting him on his page, saying, "Hey, man, what are you doing? Why are you threatening the government?" And so he go and see it. So he did another, he did something and say, "Hey, man, that wasn't me. The government did this. Look what they did." The government ain't saying nothing about it. But I think the whole reason, the purpose of doing that is to create conflict. This is the reason, I said last week, man, they're trying to start a war here in the United States amongst the people. That's what I think. And I think it very well may happen, but these are some of the measures they're taking to kick this thing off, to throw, fuel on the fire or to fan the flames, I think if that happens, we're not going to be ready, man. That messes with me, man. I watched a movie last night, y'all. I swear this movie, it's a B movie, all right? Some of the acting is horrendous, but the script, no, you're laughing, I'm saying, but the script, what they're saying in the movie, the name of the movie is War Dogs, DAWGZ. All black cast, except for who they're fighting. But listen to the dialogue, y'all. The shit we talk about, the things we talk about, go watch that movie. Go watch that movie. But the movie also, it gives you a depiction, a scenario, if you will, of what's going to happen when it happens, how it's going to go down, and how we're going to be unprepared. I mean, I made myself what, like I say, the acting was horrendous, but the message, again, people, the message, get the message. If you can, watch that movie, War Dogs. Excuse me. It was a trip, man. It was a trip. And they used what we see in our communities, the gangs, as a prime example. It was, hey, man, y'all need to check that movie out, all right? Just check that one out. So I see, in terms of the state of affairs, not just here where we are in the United States, but the world over, man. Things are changing. And what I'm noticing is that those who want to change, who pushing forward, now they're being bucked against because you have the colonizers or the imperialists not wanting that change because it's fed them. The way they've been doing things has taken care of them. You know, they are rich, filthy rich, and you know they lay claim to the globe, man, as these people who deserve to have what they have from the backs or of other people. You got people starting to rise up and wake up, man, to change the paradigm, so to speak. And people are not liking it, man. From this government to everything in Europe, they're not liking it. And that means they're going to act. They're going to do something, man. They're going to do something. Like I say, I worry that it's going to be drastic and we're not going to be ready. We're not going to be ready. The world is changing. They don't want it to change. So what can they do? What will they do to stop change from taking place, to prevent the transition of power? It's going to be something drastic. I worry about that. But, that's, like I said, man, that's what's going on. Africa's rising up. Brothers over there are waking up daily. Every time you look in the news I mess with, you have another African country standing up to the colonizer, shutting them down, kicking them out, and the colonizer threatening them, using threats. IMF ain't gonna give you this, World Bank ain't. Okay, matter of fact, we don't even want nothing from the IMF. We ain't paying y'all back nothing, this, that, and the third. It's going on. Here in America, we got a guy, they pushing, man. I think I saw something today. They're on their way to Oakland. They're on their way to Oakland. In fact, they might be already in Oakland. I think the people already gathered out there, to meet them head on. So if they're in Oakland, it's just a matter of time before they reach the land, not just this land, Texas. They're already in New York, Chicago, but they're going to start hitting these southern states too. Something's going on. And I just sometimes feel like we're not ready, man, for how they play. We aren't ready for how they play. They play for keeps. While they telling you some bull crap, they playing for keeps. So, the state of affairs, man, in the world, man, here, man, at this point, from my observation, in my opinion, we're not ready. That don't mean we can't get ready. I'm just saying that if it was right now, today, if it's tomorrow, we be like newborn babies. Like I said, man, when they get here, because they're gonna come. These same brothers, man, that's out here really, really, really quick to jump out and walk up and do each other. Them same brothers ain't gonna be present, man. They not for lack of they're not gonna, that same energy, man, and heart, that bravado, it's not gonna be there. And I think that's sad, man, that we do that to each other, but when somebody else come, again, you love your community so much, your hood, your set, your get whatever. You're supposed to defend it, right? All right. But I know brothers ain't ready like that, man. Only when it's each other. Only when it's each other. You take them precious bullets, man, that we're going to one day need and use them on each other. Gung-ho to do another brother. But man, when it come to them, man, you a hoe. You'll run. You're going to hide. And then, man, so I just think, man, we're going to be in for a fight, man. We really want change. It ain't just going to fall in our lap. We're going to have to go through some stuff, man. And most of y'all know this. It ain't going to just happen like we want it to happen. Nah, nah. It's gonna be a fight, man. If it kick off like that, yeah, we're gonna lose a lot. We're gonna lose a lot, and some of us might lose our heart, our determination, our will to fight, be free. That's how I see stuff. But like I said, man, I just want to live to that man. You know, that's why I say, man, our brothers, man, especially the youngs, man, them is our soldiers, man. You know, them is our soldiers, man. Them the ones supposed to grow, man, transition into real live warriors, man, with the business. You know, but no telling how that's gonna turn out, man. You know, so you know, I feel the world, man, is changing, and we're not changing with it. We're not moving quick enough. We're not unifying like we should, man. You know, that's what I think. But hey, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Raymond Skull, man, he said, man, when we were in our sections pushing the line on hood politics, excuse me, let me read that again, brother. When we were in our sections pushing the line on hood politics, we have to push that same hard line on our kids as fathers so as to save them from these treacherous streets. I said that, not exactly like you said it, Raymond, but I've said that. I say, hey, man, the same way I was willing to be in the streets and do this, that, and the other, that same, then, hey, man, whatever I'm a part of and I know it's right, I got to have that energy plus some. Push it harder than I did this bullshit I did, you know? Because this is on some real stuff. So what you're saying is real. If you read that like that, yeah, you got to, man. You got to. You got to, man. You got to push, man. Because these streets, man, they'll take your babies, man. Streets will take your babies from you, man. Won't get to see them grow. You know? It's real, man. Soldier Janice, greetings, sister. I'll give you a call in a little while, my sister. Peace and blessings to you and yours. Al Thomas say, I agree, man. They need to be properly educated to do the right thing with those benefits from insurance policies or whatever they are left. They need to make the correct decisions the first time around. Yeah, because, you know, once you get the money, you did and you squander, there's no second, you know what I mean? Once you mess it off, it's messed off, you know? So, yeah, they have to have it right the first time in order for it to work for them or in order for them to build something from it. Keep that legacy going, so to speak. Chris 223 says their machinery, theirs machinery will work. Okay, I missed something, Chris. Oh, you're talking about jobs? Okay. Okay, yeah, the machines work, but it takes hands-on to plaster and paint and move around, supplies to build and construct a new world. If you leave it up to the young Black youth, we'll be kicking rocks. But, you know, by the same token, man, we got to keep pushing on them, though. We got to keep, like Raymond was just saying, Raymond Skoll just said, we have to push on them. We have to, man. Because if we don't, yeah, man, there'll be no future for them. You know? We got to push, man. Black men, we got to stand up and push, man. I got a nephew. I was in his neck. In his neck, man. Like, for real. Like, boy, what, my lesson ain't good enough for you? What I went through, it ain't good enough for you. You know, give me some song and dance about, you know, what he ain't got. Hey, man, all you supposed to be getting over there is education. You ain't in no fashion show. Go get the education, man. Learn how to weed out the good from the bad when them teachers talking. No bullshit when you hear it. Act like you're paying attention. But pay attention. Because some of that stuff you might be able to use. But school ain't for no, it ain't no fashion show, man. However, and I negotiated with him. Just gonna be to get down. This is what you need to do. And as a result of you doing exactly what Uncle is instructing you to do, this is what I'll do. I need 2 weeks. Straight up, man. Straight up performance. 2 weeks. You know, went took care of something, boom. What they say, gave him the carrot before the stick. By year. But don't think, Uncle, if he hears something, I won't come and chastise you. I won't come get your, because now you're playing me. You done broke the contract. This is how I'm talking to him. And we had a long talk, man. So we're doing good. All right. But I'm telling you, man, that's not something really you're supposed to be rewarded for. You're supposed to know you need to do this for a reason. There's a purpose for you doing this. This is what I'm telling him. And yet I get it. Young dude, man, this is what they all, so I'm trying to understand how to relate to what he's saying without putting him down. You know what I mean? I'm trying to meet him, the middle ground, but hey, man, like Raymond was just saying, man, hey, man, you got to push, because if you don't, the streets get them. Streets push harder. So, that's my nephew. It's my nephew, man. So he ain't the only one. Boy, y'all don't know that of it. But hey, man, we got to push, man. We can't leave it for granted. We can't take for granted that leave it, the circumstance or whatever, just hope some shit go, without working on this, putting in work, man. It deserves it. The youth need it, man, whether they know it or not. Okay. Brothers and sisters. Okay, James Gadd said, brothers and sisters need each other now more than ever. Whenever that ish hit the fan, we need to make sure our people hold each other down. We know who the real enemy is. Black fist up high, one. There you go. And again, they got a playbook, James, where in that playbook, they know how to divide in order to conquer. They know how to make us dependent, They know how to weaken us or make us ineffectual, you know what I'm saying? Not just to our families, but our community as a whole, even to ourselves. We see ourselves as weak and ineffectual because this shit been, we've been bombarded with this stuff, man. We've been drilled with this, man, that we're this and we're that. We ain't this and we ain't that. And believed it to a great extent. To a great extent. Again, it plays out in the streets. We see it. We don't hold each other down. You know what I mean? We don't prop each other up and look out. The revert, yet we actually hold each other down. That's some cold stuff. And I mean it the way I said it. We keep each other down. We play a wicked game, but again, this is what we learned. So it's how we've been educated, man. But the first time, man, I tell you, when we wake up and see that we are all we have, man, hey, I was saying last week or so, I said, man, I don't know, man. We kind of like forgiveful people. We forgive. We're different type of people, human being than others. And a lot of us, I'm sure, be like, okay, no, that happened. We're gonna leave him alone. We're gonna leave it. And I had to think about that just for my own self. Will I be able to be like, when things change, be like, yeah, leave him alone, or like, hell no, I don't know. I'm just saying, this shit has been, treacherous. It's worse than that, man. That's an understatement. Treacherous. Annihilating, man. Knowingly annihilating. They've been annihilating us intentionally. And I think it'd be super hard for a lot of us to be like, nah, man, I ain't forgetting that shit. I ain't letting that shit go. No, I don't know. I don't know. But once we wake up, man, and we start to defend, our lives initially in that way, then we're able to defend and look out, protect the lives of those that are coming, our children, so to speak, or that brother, sister, that's right next to us. Until then, man, hey, yeah, we in the worst way right now. Chris 223 says, "Man, I'm sorry to say it, but I have to come with reality. Reality is an MF. Mostly the immigrants are doing the hands-on build and reconstruction of the society these days. Reality. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. How'd they get to that? How'd they get to that? You know? How'd they get to the point where there seems to be a lack of skilled laborers, black, And I know that's BS, man. I know that's some bull crap, man. I know there are black laborers skilled, but they don't have the jobs. I heard it said once, man, because they're cheap labor. Brothers and sisters don't want no cheap labor, too much like slavery, you know, something to think about. I don't know. They'll take $5 less, $10 less. I don't know. But why? That could be the reason why we don't see us in the workforce like that anymore. I remember growing up in the 70s, man, every black man that was on our street was some kind of laborer. He worked for the city. He was in construction. He was an electrician, a plumber, real spec. Drove big diesels and shit. Our whole street, man. Motherfuckers were still poor, but these dudes was working. They were working men. Get drunk on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Up early Monday. Going to work, man. Gotta go work. You don't see that, man. But again, I think a lot has changed, man, to the point where it was intentional to remove us from the workforce. Come on. Yeah, those hands are behind the scenes pulling strings, man. And I don't mean the immigrants. I don't mean them. Wake and Bake said, "Man, I appreciate you for doing the due diligence that you're doing for the culture." And I say this, man, thank you, bro. I'll be trying to, tap in with certain brothers, man. It's more than an obligation. And I say this because I mean it, man. It's love, It's love, man. Love is what propels me, what pushes me to do this more than me feeling like I'm obligated because of my past. I do owe a debt to my community. I do. But it's the fact that I love my community. I love my people more than I feel there's an obligation to do this. I do it out of love, I would love to see other brothers, man, with platforms, man. And I said this the other night, man, y'all ain't got to do this every day. Just show the people y'all can do this, man. Do a show, man. Talk positivity. Say what's really on your mind, man. Don't worry about you not getting all them likes and clicks and shit. They go for a day, man. For a day. I'd love to see that. I would love to see that, man. They can do the same due diligence for their culture, for their people, man. We need to start hollering at them too. Letting them know, hey, man, shoot. You love it. You love the culture. You love your people. You feel obligated. What? Do something for the people. I appreciate that, bro. Raymond Skull says, "Fathers, we must take full control of our kids' destiny through firm education from our experiences and by enacting proper demonstration through our actions. This is how I teach my kids." Man, I'm putting you on par with Brother Al Thomas. You know what I mean? Yeah, y'all pushing a line that's that should be appreciated. It should be, hey man, out on the forefront, brothers. Because like I said, there are all kind of brothers who do this, but where's the recognition? You know what I mean? And I don't mean like you do it again. I'm pretty sure out of love for your seed. You want them to have a future, have a life, that's better than yours. So that don't really call for accolades. You know what I mean? But acknowledgement is okay, man. In fact, it's an example that need to be put out, in social media. You brothers is doing when what a whole lot of brothers are doing, and what a whole lot of brothers aren't doing. You know, you brothers need that, man. Y'all should have that. Y'all should have that, man. So, like I say, you and Al, man, strike me, man, because you guys talk about your children and their future like you do, and I'm pretty sure other brothers in here have. Poke does it. All you guys. I'm not saying, I'm not really singling nobody out. I just like the fact that you put that out there like that. All right. Because, I think, like most of us do, the youth is the future, man. They're our future. They're our future. They need to be educated. They need to be educated. If not, the streets and society will have a hold of them as well. Appreciate that, bro. Folks said, man, shout out to Skull, man, and Al. Y'all putting it on the table for the people to eat. What is good, and the only way is to keep feeding each other education on UTG. Real spit, bro. They've landed on the table, man. They landed on the table for us to digest, eat it. This is sustenance, man, in a different form. This food for the brain. Need it. You still driving, Pope? Like I say, man, safe travels, man. Take your time, brother. Raymond Skull said, man, we all sharpen each other. This group forces me to tap into my core being and just be who I am. Still sharpen steel, man. The old African proverb, it takes a village, It takes a village, man. And, we got to recognize some stuff, man. Like I say, it's all about when they use their playbook, divide and conquer. Fact of the matter is, man, we all one big village. We're one community. We sometimes say this community, that community, man, and we, in our own way, man, we create division, but we do it. I think I do it, man, so brothers can understand. I understand, man. I'm not disregarding that part of the community you come from. But the truth of the matter is we're one community. We're one people. That's just the truth. We're one people. And we have to start living as such, man. We have to, man, so we can be all that we can be, man, individually as well as collectively. One people, man, one tribe, one community. But hey, James Cass said, when somebody else come, nowadays they just bow down. But like you said, Bub, so quick and fast to hurt each other, except targeting the real enemy threat. Yeah. Again, man, somebody said earlier, man, the streets. See, we got to understand, man, for real, what's in the streets, man. It's not what we, in terms of, structuring or educating our people, our young, anybody else about how to carry themselves, man. That's missing in the streets. In the streets, man, they're led to believe, man, it's a survival thing against, your own people. Not knowing they feeding into this misconception that I'm your enemy. Look just like you. Not realizing, man, again, that I ain't the one, man, that did all this to us. the systematic shit, man, just be it psychological, man, be it financial, be it racial, be whatever. I didn't create this thing, man. Well, that we're all caught up in. They're not taught that. They don't have an understanding of that, man. You know, it's sad, man, that they quick to do this. It's sadder still, man, that again, we need to be hollering at them, man. And we're not. That's sad. Especially those of us who know. Who is even a part of this shit. But no longer, because we see the light. We understand, we figured out the game. We understood the playbook. Brothers got to know, man. We got to put that work in right there. That's the type of work we got to start putting in. Like I say, when I see the homies, young cats say, boy, you working? How you taking care of them babies, man? That's what I say. Straight up, I mean, my heart goes out to my community, it does, man, because nobody wants to see this destruction, see this death, see these brothers incarcerated, man, taken away, no future. Nobody wants to see that shit, but hey, this is what we're experiencing, man. This is what we're dealing with. We had to get this shit together. We had to deal with us first so we can actually be able to deal with the real issues. They got this shit so down pat, man, where we all our energy and focus is on each other, doing something to each other, to hurt each other, jealous of each other, envious of each other, hating each other. This is crazy. It's crazy. Man. Pope Mitchell, I hear you, man. Judging the heart is judging what is deep embedded in the soul. Skull, it is why I respect the most. It is why I respect the most. Salute, Black Love, okay? Soldier Denise, we see you. Salute right back to you, sister. He said, I'm a finger or two off, but I'm determined, brother. Much love to this chat. Likewise, brother. And like I say, man, you be careful. You ain't got to be typing and driving, bro. Yeah. Take your time, man. All right, you white bub. We ain't realizing what is good for us fast enough. There she go. All right, see one dead. How's our niece? How's our sister doing? Hope that everything is everything on the deep deep. In the deep deep. For real? No, it's not okay. I can see them. I hope they see them. They're responding. But anyway, see one dead, how was your day? Or how is your day starting? It's a different time thing over there, but I think the struggle and the experiences are all the same, no matter where we at, Hold your head. All right? Hold your head. Look to the sun, get that energy, man. Equip, armor up, get ready. Stay ready. Good seeing the chat, sister. All right. That's right. She said, I was telling y'all yesterday, please look out for each other. She said, war is war. See, one day it said, war is war, sir. And we need to educate the next generation. Your nation. I know what you mean, though. Yeah, tell the truth. Yeah, don't hold your breath, sir. They got plans for us. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. See, one day we got to figure out the way to thwart those plans. We want them to, not feel like, but no, okay, we got to throw these plans away and we got to go back to the drawing board because they didn't change. It's something different. Yeah. Damn they plans. We have to start making plans, right? We have to start making our plans and then enacting them, executing them, put them into effect, put them in motion. Put them in motion. And what the brothers are talking about today make all the sense in the world. First thing we need to understand is we have to have our own resources. We have to have these things, man, in order to start what we need to start in terms of our finances and in economics. That's one, because, truth of the matter is, yeah, we're going to need that. You're going to need some money to get some shit done. All right. That's all I'm saying about that. So damn their plans. We know their plans. We've been, people before us, all our people before us knew their plans. Same playbook. Same playbook. We're not ignorant to their plans. Well, we act ignorant like we don't know no better, man, about what the playbook says. What's in chapter 1, 2 through 10 in terms of how they deal with us. Yeah, we act like, man, come on, man, we know to get out. We don't address it. We don't deal with it accordingly or appropriately like we should. That's the problem. See, one day it goes on saying in Australia, okay, excuse me, that's old one get out. He said they got plans for us in Australia. They have us black fellas sign paperwork stating how black we are. We have to tick a box when it comes to employment. They also track our health because of what's happened in the past 100 years. I can't trust them. I feel they have paperwork for us because they have plans to pick us all up in the future. That is one of the coldest atrocities, I think, in history. Yeah, I like I said, when we first start talking about, I read a lot about Australia and what they did what they did over there, man. It's just messed up stuff, man. Messed up. And really, y'all, it wasn't no different than how they was treating us over here. But you just, out here, they're over there, the deep, they were doing some horrendous shit, man. Atrocious shit. Just because they could. Just because they could. So what she's talking about in terms of people being in paperwork, they got, yeah, man, yeah. Same shit, man. Same shit. I think they tried to sterilize them and everything. Oh, the same shit they do over here, man. Same get out. So yeah, don't trust them. That playbook is still in effect. Valley Custom says you can't give up on this generation. You have to teach them. You have to teach them. It's a difference between telling and teaching. Here. Truth to power right there. Yeah, and I'm saying to you, bro, I don't want to give up. I just can't. I can't. But good point. There is a difference between telling somebody something and teaching them, showing them how, being an example in terms of, what to do, how to do it. You have to teach them. Yeah. Again, we have to reset the mind, man. The mindset has to be recalibrated. We have to re-educate. Not just ourselves, but our brothers and sisters. We have to. I agree. See, one day it said, it makes me nervous. Sorry for taking up so much space. Hey, sister, you are part of this. This is the Royal Group congregation. You are part of the congregation. We're touching bases with each other. We are the people. There's no need to apologize. Speak. Put it in there. Let the people understand what you see, what you're going through. It's what we all do. James Cash said, I've never in my life hated another human being, especially not a brother or sister. Maybe strong dislikes for certain individuals who not right. But racist devils, I can say I have hatred for. And them the ones that look, and they are at work. They are at work, man. They're down south putting in work. That hatred is at work, man. Now, you know, that might be the spark. That could very well be the spark as well that set it off. Hmm. Yeah. Okay, see, one day it says, please teach your children about caste. And if you are not sure, I suggest The Annihilation of Caste. Great book by B.R. Ambedkar in 1963. He's like the MLK of India. Hmm. Yeah, the caste system was another cool thing. I think they had that also in India. The British enacted that law, a caste system. You know, the darker you were, you know, the worse you were treated, you know. Couldn't work, you couldn't do nothing. Just die. James Cass says money talks, bullshit walks. The corporate CEOs, the royal families, the upper elite, always keeping us down to the dirt. All right, Poke, I see you still driving. Like I say, bro, take your time, man. Take your time. Raymond Scholes said, man, I knew this platform was going to be great when I first saw you articulate the different points what UTG would be about. The way you spoke, I knew this podcast would be excellent. Excellent. I see you, bro. I hear you. Hey, man, I don't know. I tell you, man, I'm inspired by a lot of shit. But I'm tell you what, again, man, what actually pushes me is my love for my people. I think about my mom's a lot. You know, my mom's passed away a few years ago, a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago. And I can't help but, man, just keep remembering, man, with mom, man, we was poor, man, shit. I say this often enough. We might have a pot of beans that we got to eat for 2, 3 days, you know, big pot. But moms would bring people in, black people from the street, man. And, you know, shit, man, well, we know we got this pot of beans, just one more mouth to feed. It's already 7 of us. But she would break that shit down to us like, these are people, you know. Um, if you got it, you're supposed to share with them, you know what I'm saying? What they'll get from it is if they get it, when they do good, they do better, they're going to remember to do that for the next person, you know, who's going to need them. You know, they don't forget this type of love. And it was that stuck with me, man. And then not only couple that with the fact Miles was a Panther, you know, and she couldn't stand the police. I mean, woo. But her love, not just for us, but her people, is something I think she passed on to us. And, you know, like I said, for me, I lost my way, you know, but it was only right that, you know, I made it back home, so to speak, you know. I do this, man. I don't do this for me. I do it for the people. I know a lot of cats, man. I know a lot of cats, man, can't stand what I'm doing. I know that. I know that. I ain't shit on hey, man. It's not you I'm trying to impress, bruh. You know, I'm not trying to impress you, period. You know, it's those who I know need love, man, need to be spoken. You know, we need to communicate. I'm communicating with those who I know I need to communicate with. You know, I do this for the people. I do it because I love my people, man. You know, that's it. You know, but this thing, man, it's gonna do what it's supposed to do. You know, and it's one thing I said when I did first start. I said, man, it ain't what y'all think. And I was speaking to the homies because you know, it was an excitement. You know, oh, we got shit now, yeah, yeah, but it ain't what you think. Take a picture, y'all. All of us got to be in the picture. That's why it's big. It got to be big to hold all of us. Just want to do it anyway. Appreciate that, Raymond. Appreciate that. Yeah. Y'all know what we do. How we do it, I got that look. My baby, man. Hey, man, I just, I see a lot of bad, right? We all do. But I look at it like this, man. There's a lot of good, There could be 5 bads, 1 good. It's always better, man. You know, it could be 5. Just all I need is 1 good. So all we need is 1 good, man, to make make it worthwhile. Make life more appreciated. Put it like that. We good, man. I'm telling you, we all good. We all good. We just, again, man, we've been taught wrong. Led astray, hoodwink, bamboozled. Got us thinking we ain't shit. We are the shit. We are good, man. We all good. So take that with you, man. Y'all just look at it like that, man. Again, just appreciate the fact that here you are, one. Here you are. It's all good, man. And you just get down, man, and we do what we do. We sit up, man, and we gonna chop it up with each other. We're gonna drop jewels. We're gonna educate one another, we're gonna support one another. Most of all, man, we gotta love each other. I love me, man. In order for me to do that, in order for me to love you, I gotta love me. Y'all know how that go. That's some real stuff. Think about that. That's all it's about, actually. I was telling Youngs, man, a little while ago, if you love your set so much, take care of it, man. Build it up. Don't tear it down. You love that community, that hood, that set so much. You're supposed to take care of it. Supposed to make it good for you and your people to live in, to thrive in, have a future in. To love yourself, man. In order for that type of love to exist, you gotta love yourself. All right? Peace and blessings to the group, man. The royal group, congregation. All love and respect, man. All right? Love yourself so you can love someone else, man, who needs it like you do. Love them like you know what I mean? Take care of each other, y'all. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. You are, you have been, and you will be under the groove, y'all. Black power, man. Black first. Let's let it do what it do. Peace.